Okay, today's lesson is all about you skipping the friend zone. So, a lot of times we sort of jump, hop, skip, and end up in the friend zone. So, today, let's talk about how you can skip that and head straight to being a wife, getting married. And I have my phone because I wrote a few notes down. And so I just want you to know that he's the only one that can take you out of the friend zone. We can't force him to take you out of the friend zone. We can't, manipulate him because you want this to be like his free will. You want this to be what he wants. You don't want it to be some manipulated outcome where at the end of getting out of the friend zone, you sort of feel like you made him do this and that you don't want any insecurities surrounding him not really wanting you. So, with this being said, I want you to first notice what went wrong and why you put him on a pedestal. Because 9 times out of 10, you probably thought he was so fine. 9 times out of 10, you probably thought he, had the best job and you envisioned a future with him really, really quickly. And this can get you into trouble because they need to be pedestalizing us. They need to be telling people about us. They need to be the ones that are initiating the sort of relationship that heads straight to marriage. You don't need to be the one that's sort of like, oh my God, I see my future with him. Oh my God. And then you're like, so oh my God to him that you don't notice that there is an abundance of men out here and that there's no scarcity. And you can actually find a man that truly values you. You can actually find a man that truly puts you on a pedestal, truly worships you in his own way. And I don't mean like he worships you like you're God, but I just really mean that he just treats you well. And so, with this being said, um, let's first take him off the pedestal. Let's take him off the pedestal. Okay, he has a good job. Okay, great. Okay, he's very good looking. Okay, great. Now, I want you to put yourself in his shoes. I'm really good looking. I have a really good job. Let's see who's on YouTube really quick. I'm really good looking. I have a really good job. I'm all of that. I can have anyone I want because that's probably what he's saying. I have a lot of options. I am the first pick on any girl's meter. These are probably things that he's saying to himself, right? So if he's saying those things to himself, what do you want him to be saying about you? So do you want him to be saying, oh my God, like, this girl is all of this girl is all of that? Do you want him to be saying those things? 9 times out of 10, you probably do want him to be saying those things. So let me just make sure I can hear my sound. And to himself, okay, I can. So if you want him to be saying those things about you, you need to develop your self-concept. So what I mean by this is, what are things about you that make someone envision their life with you? What are things about you that make someone decide on you very quickly? And I want you to start putting yourself on a pedestal more. I want you to switch the narrative of he's all that, and I want you to switch it to I'm all that. I'm all that because I have a beautiful personality. I'm all that because I'm doing womanhood really, really good. I'm all that because my feminine energy is the most charming energy that anyone could ever be around. I'm all that because the way that I walk, the way that I talk, the way that people look at me when I walk into a room, the way that I have educated myself through schooling or self-education, I can talk about topics, that most people don't even understand. I ground myself. I meditate. I put myself first. So switch that narrative. So 9 times out of 10, let's go back to why you might be in the friend zone. Nine times out of 10, you moved a little too fast. So when when I say that you moved a little too fast, which you could have got it on with him too fast, if you know what I mean. So a lot of times we're looking at these guys on Instagram or we're looking at their Bumble profile and we're getting such an orgasmic feeling from them, from us just looking at them and imagining who they are, that when we actually hang out with them, we end up hooking up way too fast because of all these narratives and all these thoughts. And maybe we've heard a lot about him. So then we initiate the do with him. We initiate the do. And when we initiate that do with him, it ends up being way too fast. He's got what he's wanted. Now he just texts me like I'm one of his little friends. So that is probably the first mistake, and that's okay. That's okay. But you have to start learning your lesson. Sometimes it works for other people to get it on with someone really, really quick. But that just may not be your journey. That just may not be what the man that you're looking for wants. Maybe he hooks up with people really fast, but with his wife, he doesn't want to do that. I mean, can we blame him? Because now someone giving it up, like most women are readily available. You don't want to be readily available. You want to be the opposite. That's why you're going to be his wife and skip out of the friend zone. Oh, Mallory's in here. She says she finally caught alive. Okay. Hi, Mallory. It's so good to see you. Okay. So let's get back to it. Okay. So now let's see here. Things to avoid when you're, okay. So another thing we do is like after we may hook up with him, after we do the do, we will text him. We'll text him every day, and he'll text us back. And then we'll just become these texting buddies, and maybe he'll come and like do an errand with us. He'll hang out with us. But that's not what you really want. You really want to be completely in his life. You really want to see him every day. So you need to not engage in these super, super minor activities with him when he's not bringing you all the way into his life. So make yourself scarce. And how do you make yourself scarce? You're not going to be texting him every day. Okay, I see your energy isn't coming forward to me anymore. So I'm going to step back so I protect myself. You don't need to text him and say this. Just energetically take a step back. Physically take a step back. Literally take a step back. So as you're taking this step back, I want you to make yourself scarce. You don't want a half bottom invitation into someone's life. And you can like do all your manifesting hacks, right? But like sometimes on the person who's not meant for you, all that manifestation stuff isn't going to help. With the person who's not meant for you, it's like you're going to be dedicating so much energy towards him, trying to manifest him in your life, trying to manifest him in your world, trying to, oh, if I do this, if I do that. No, let him come to you. Maybe you could text him if you really need to and say, I forgot my shoes at your house, and you could show up looking really cute and see what happens. But he's going to have to be in control of taking you out of the friend zone, because if he's not in control of taking you out of the friend zone, you're going to feel really bad when you kind of like manipulate the situation and for him to take you out of the friend zone. And now in the relationship, you're questioning if this is something he ever wanted. You don't want to question if this is something he ever wanted. You don't want to be with that glooming question above your head every day. You're going to cause yourself to age fast. So rule number, I don't know what number we're on. I don't even know if I'm doing numbers, but this is going to be the rule of the night, is going to be to make yourself scarce if he has friend zoned you, especially if you've given it up. And a lot of these guys we like, they have a lot of options. So I'm not saying go for the man who looks a little bit less attractive, because people get tons of guys that look really attractive. But sometimes the people who have been told they look beautiful, they look perfect their whole life. You have beautiful eyes, you have beautiful hair, you have beautiful complexion. Sometimes these people have grown to have a large head. They've grown to have a large ego. And can you freaking blame them? I can't. And with that being said, make yourself scarce, because this man has a lot of options. And the best way to get the guy that you want is really by ignoring him. Even in my personal relationship, I won't share a lot about it, but I will tell you this. I did ignore my husband for 4 days. 4 days, 2 days, I don't know how many days it was. We were texting and blah, blah, blah. And I ignored him for 4 days. I still got the ring. So don't be afraid to ignore someone. Don't be afraid to sort of make yourself scarce. If something is going on that you don't like, even if it's not about the friend zone, but especially if it's about the friend zone, make yourself scarce. Because if you are always readily available, you're always readily available, that is not how you get the man. Even when I moved in with my husband, I remember him saying like, oh my God, like, I thought you were way more busier than this. And I was way more busier. You want to know why? Because even if I was at home, he wasn't the only person that I sent a text to. Even if I was doing nothing, he wasn't the only person I sent a text to. Like, I wasn't living to communicate with him. You don't want to be living to communicate with a man who has possibly put you in the friend zone, who is possibly not giving you the energy that you want to receive. Trust me, with people that he's liked, he's given a lot of energy. And I don't want this to come up for you. And I don't want you to think like, oh my God, he's liked people in the past. Everyone has. Think of all the people that you liked, that have liked you that you didn't like back. Not to say that he doesn't like you back, but if his energy isn't coming towards you, it's time to make yourself scarce. It's time to do your affirmations and believe that there is more abundance out there, and that this is not the last man on earth. I remember when I was, dating my first boyfriend, and I was like, oh my God, like, Mom, am I ever going to meet someone again? And I did. I met someone again. So I just want you to take that with you. And if you guys have any questions, you can put them in the box, because this is a live. And I'll exit soon, because I'm not really good at doing really long lives unless there's like a bunch of people in the live. So if anything comes up for you, put it below. If not, then that's okay too. I'm going to put this out on Instagram so people know I'm live and they can join in. But what is going on with your dating life? Is there anything going on that you want to talk about? Okay, let's see here. But there are so many ways to skip. Thank you. There's so many ways to skip being in the friend zone, guys. Dating with strategy is, my favorite thing ever, because I don't think I could have done much. Like, getting married in 8 months couldn't have happened for me without strategy. And I do want to say that strategy gets you in more places than you think. A lot of people use strategy, but they don't really know how to. I was trying to take a picture for my Instagram so I can let them know I'm live right now. Okay, I think I got what I needed. I kind of didn't. So let me do it one more time. Okay. So we'll let them know that I'm live. Oh, but I was gonna say that I think I was saying that when I was dating my husband, I want to tell you this story. There was a time where he said, I'm really busy. I only have time to talk. I only have time to hang out 1 day a week. And I kept hanging with them because that 1 day a week was a date, it was a date. And with that being said, I was like, okay, this is just my rotation. This is just another date. But he was actually taking me on dates. We weren't like running errands. We were like going on actual dates. And so when we were going on actual dates, it just kept happening. And then the consistency of when he wanted to see me just became more and more. And then by that time I was moving in his house. And then by that time I was getting married. We met and got married in 8 months. And, but I didn't like manipulate the situation to be like, you have to spend more than 1 day a week with me, or I didn't have a long conversation with him about how I needed more of his time. So that's also something to think about, because a lot of times, a guy will also tell us right away that, oh, I don't want to be in a relationship. And my husband, he tells me, like, he did tell me that when we were dating. He told me he didn't want to be in a relationship. And I say, well, then what happened? And he's like, well, I fell in love. So like, don't underestimate your feminine power of not making a man fall in love, but just being yourself, your most authentic self. And then by that sort of like consequence, a man falls in love with you. So I wouldn't go in on him like, why don't you want a relationship? I need to be your girlfriend. No, it's fine. I don't have to be your girlfriend. I don't have to be your girlfriend, but just know a girl like me, if I meet someone and get married, then I'm gonna have to text you bye, because I know I'm getting married soon. You want to have this air of confidence to you. You want to be mysterious, make him chase, but I just think the number one mistake that we're making lately is giving it up too fast. And I think the more that we give it up too fast, we are losing a lot of our power. And of course, like, who wouldn't hook up with someone so fast that's offering something? But 9 times out of 10, for some reason, it doesn't always work out that way. Anything else coming up for you, ladies? I won't say any names if you drop something in the comment box. Oh, hi. Celebrating 2 years of marriage due to your guidance to the engagement and through the marriage. Dating with strategy is needed even while married. Yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunately, when you're married, you still need a little bit of strategy, just because some things we weren't taught. I do know someone who has a baby, and a lot of the things that she says, like, she'll be like, I kind of already knew to do this with my baby. I kind of already knew to do that. So sometimes with a man, when you're with, you can, not comparing him to a baby, but just saying, like, there will be some inherent things that you're like, well, I know, like, if he's in his man cave, I shouldn't always go and follow him, because that could be his need for privacy. That could be maybe he needs to let a fart out. Who knows? That could be his need of just like space, time, alone time. And that's something that we all inheritedly know, like, let me give him his space. But a lot of us don't inherently, I butchered that, know other things. So the strategy still works. I'm not saying you need to buy a bunch of books to figure men out, but I do know that, like, you have to like stick to who you were in the beginning. Because if you were just putting on a show and you're like, I'm gonna get this guy and this is how it's gonna go. And then when you get him, you revert to like back to being clingy, back to being like this crazy girl, this girl who always gets upset, which I had to learn how to emotionally regulate myself, and I'm still learning. But if you're gonna revert to all your old ways, like once you get out of the friend zone, then that could be really hard. That could be really hard to come back from. But as we know, a lot of people get out of the friend zone. I just had one of my clients who was in the friend zone. She just got married over the weekend and we were able to get her out of it. But she also was being authentically herself, like she didn't try to change him or change herself. She just changed a few of her habits. Because, like, if we're dating the wrong way for a really long time, our habits kind of become a little faulty. And let me just check back in the comments really quick. Okay, so I'm gonna go, but I'm so glad everybody popped in. So does it work if I give you guys like a heads up, like a warning, like I'm going live at 9:30? Because if that does help, I would love to just like do that all the time. But it's the last quarter of the year, and I'm just like, I have 6 more months. It's time for me to kick some ass. So I'm gonna be popping in and kicking a little bit of ass because like I don't want to like wake up and be like, okay, I could have gotten a million women married. But instead, I wanted to be all cozy with my man and not participate in my business that much, just hold on to the clients that I have and just have fun with them. So I want to share some of my fun with you guys and also while stepping it up in my business. So we both benefit, it's an equal benefit. Okay, ladies, bye.